Thank you so much, Chairman. I love this quote. It takes years to build a strong brand, but just a few seconds to crush it utterly. There's a story that is told. Um, there's a story that is told about two friends. They were very good friends, best friends actually. And then one day, one of these best friends, let's say the best friends were X and Y. So one day Y decided to expose X, like all the secrets they were sharing and everything. X had trusted Y had trusted X. But X was not trustworthy. So X went out and started spreading rumors, lies, and truths about Y. And Y was really, really hurt. A friendship that they had built for 20 years, X built it in less than a day. And so they went to someone to help them, to mediate between them. And this person told X to take a pillow, cut it. You see, there's cotton in a pillow, and then walk on the road while throwing it, throwing it, throwing it, throwing it. And then the next day to come and collect it and make the pillow. And Y was like, number one, X was like, number one, when I come back, most probably I will not get the cotton that was in this pillow. And if I get, it will be mixed with sand, dirt, and everything. And then this mediator told him told this person one thing. He told the person that, you see, you've already broken trust. You see, the moment you break trust, you can't build it to how it was before. You just can't. People cannot trust you again. So learn to stick to your word, learn to stick to your brand, because you've already built your brand in on trust. Learn to be trustworthy. Let it be you. When people talk about you, what do they say about you? Is this person trustworthy? Can I go to Maina Muturi and open up and tell this person this, and I will not hear any word from any person? Let us learn to be people who are trustworthy. Let us build our brands on being trustworthy. So I want to know your takeouts. And now, guys, remember, from the word go, we say that leadership starts by you. So this brand that you're building, you see, you can't build a brand outside of you. It is you that people are going to know. It is you that people are going to see. So I just want to know, no, first of all, Otieno Paul Peter, I cannot continue without you telling me your pick out, because you're the writer of this book. I want to pick your mind. When you're writing about this, I know you do so much in branding, you teach so much in branding, but when you're writing this particular script that we have read, what was going through your mind?
You know, throughout my childhood to date, I related this, I think, at the beginning of the book, that my my interest in leadership started early, and then it also somewhat coincided with my interest in business. And I learned that much of what happened was not because of anything else. I did not have any advantage, the starting advantage, maybe which school you went to, which networks, whatever. But the only thing that kept helping me was people would believe what I tell them. If I say this, I have a problem going against what I said. And I often say that even if I tell my children that if you do this, I'll cane you, then if they do it, I cane them just because I said, because I cannot do something that I did not say. And I learned that if you do not build some level of consistency and trust in people you lead, they will not be loyal to you. And just like you started by saying that story, relating that story of friends who betrayed each other, one thing I learned is loyalty. Loyalty, building that loyalty takes quite some time. It takes, and that's why we see some politicians have been consistently at the top for long, because they've built some loyalty, they've built some fan base. Now, as my friend Maina Muturi has said, And we said it at the beginning, and even last week we said, a brand begins with us. When you are starting up an enterprise, it starts with your name. It is you whom people know. And because you infuse this value into your organization, into your orchestra, and we are using the symbolism of orchestra here because the way an orchestra works is such that the output must be sweet enough, must be something that's palatable, must be something that is nice to hear. You see the music that comes out. We do not hear some noise. There are different people doing different things at different times, but we hear the beautiful output. And that is the way an organization needs to work. We have an organization like is talking about food industry. Somebody will go to the market, somebody will go do this, somebody is going to arrange the venue and all these other things, but by the end of the day they work in synchrony to give an outstanding output, and people say that event was fantastic. For that to work, it starts with my own brand. People bought me, and so they believe that I'm going to deliver what they expected. And then we've been able to infuse this brand into our group, into our team. And so we are all working in synchrony. Everyone is doing everything just as it's supposed to be. And by the end of the day, we deliver. And if we deliver it once, people will believe that was a fantastic delivery. And we do it again, and we do it again, and we do it again, and then that name, well, let's call this our organization ABC. People start believing that those ABC people, they always do a good job because of that consistency. And that is what branding is. And that's why when we go buying, for example, LG, there is something that we know about LG that makes us buy it. I often give an example, for example, this one of phones, uh, like uh, Huawei. I've used Huawei for like 10 years. Why? Because every time I buy it, I know it's not something I'm going to break anyhow. Yeah, somebody drops it, whatever, and it breaks, and I've got to replace. It's reliable for me. The same thing I talk about Dell computers. I've used them for all my life, using the laptops from Dell. It doesn't matter what people tell me. I go look for laptops, and I'm looking for Dell somewhere. Oh, we have Lenovo. Oh, we have HP, whatever. I said, no, no, no. I just want that. Why? Because they've bought me. I've trusted that brand. The same way we've got to trust, we've got to build brands that are trusted because they know the value that we give. It is not just what we say, it is what we give, it is what we are. And that's why we started by saying it's okay to be odd. If you are just like any other, then there is no reason somebody is going to look for you specifically. They will go look for, they will go to the nearest. Yeah, they will go to the nearest, the one they can reach fastest, because you are just the same. But if you are you, then somebody will traverse a whole destination, a whole distance just to come to you. I often give this example also with ladies going for salon. You realize that somebody is in Kikuyu and goes all the way to Kitengela because her salonist is there. You see, specific one. Now I know, like Noel, you go to yours specifically. You can't just change because there is some value that you attach with that. This person touches my hair in a particular manner. It works like that. So that is part of what should come out in this particular section. And if we fail to build a brand, then everything else dies with us. And that's why we are saying everyone else is a brand. Everyone, each and every one of us is a brand. The question is whether we are the brand we want to be, or we are not the brand we want to be. And everything we do makes us either build into that brand or damage that brand. So we've got to take good care of that. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you so much. Thank you so much, Chairman. I mean, it's so true. What you're saying is so true. Like, I go to, I I always visit Otieno hair salon, and it's because number one, I do not use any heat on my hair, and I know they don't use heat. And then it is only one person in the town, in the whole of Kenya, who does my eyebrows. I cannot go to any other person to do my eyebrows. I'll call, book an appointment, go that day. I just can't. I can't. Why? Because these people have built themselves. They are people that I know. So today in the morning, when I was talking to Chairman, the writer of this book, and I was telling him, I'm so sleepy. And he told me, you see, the price you have to pay. And I am personally not a morning person. I am not a morning person. In the morning, I am always very quiet and moody and everything. But you see, I have had to step out of my comfort zone to build myself. So I just want to know, what are you doing to build your brand? What are you doing to build yourself? Because you have to stand out. Even when you're going for an interview, you have to stand out. You can't just come here and then you're telling me, I've done counseling. I want to come and counsel, good. And then someone else comes and this other person tells me, I've done counseling, I have done this, I've done this. At the end of the day, they have an advantage over you. So what are you doing to build your brand? Because remember, we have said the brand starts by you, me, I, and even leadership starts by you. So what are you doing to build your brand? Patrick, can you please share on that?
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Good morning.
Thank you to be here, and sorry for coming late. I had another class which delayed a little bit, but that's okay. As you're saying, the first person who gets seen or noticed is yourself. So before you build any brand, it is people will buy you first. Once they've bought you, and by buying you, they'll have looked at your values, your principles, then they see if they are congruent, or if there is a match, then they will buy you. So what I'm doing personally to build my brand is, as Paul Peter had said initially, what you promise, please try to deliver. Then and ensure that the values that you have or the values that you seek are values that when people see them or when people see you, they'll be able to relate the values with you. They'll be able to ascertain that this person, what he is delivering or what he's promising to deliver, he actually delivers that. So I'm going out of my way trying to read on how I can improve my personality, how I can do things better, how I can work efficiently to ensure that I deliver to my clients, and not only to deliver consistently as a good brand, so that the loyalty can continue, not even now, but also in the future. That's in a nutshell what I can say.
Okay, thank you so
Yes.
much. Thank you so much. Kindly, Melvin Glima, I know you are a Rotaract or that word. So kindly share with us what you're doing to build your brand.
What I'm doing is I'm just being consistent. When you're like Paul Peter, when you're a writer, getting people to read your books is very difficult. And it's and it all starts with the fact that people are not buying your books. So what I've done is, for the last 3 months consistently, every week I churn out a newsletter. I give it my best, and that's what I'll say. My takeout from today's session is be consistent, so that people can remember you. You become top of mind when they think about a solution that you have to offer. So that's it for me. And I must say that Otieno Paul Peter has really impressed me, because I first heard him at a Rotary meeting, and his message is the same one that he was preaching on that day. So thank you very much, and I'll keep trying to join these meetings every Monday.
Okay. Karibu sana and asante. Otieno Paul Peter, I know we've spoken about consistency and everything else. Kindly just point out to us what is this most important thing for us to work on in order to improve our branding, because we just didn't wake up in the morning to come and join this webinar. No, we just didn't. There's something we are searching for. You get me? We want to improve ourselves. So please share with us, because I know you coach a lot on this. Share with us on how to improve our branding. I am giving you 3 minutes.
Starting now. Okay, thank you, Noel. I'm glad to hear what I'm hearing about. Like Emily said, she's done lots of things. You know, this is one thing that I learned with most of us Kenyans. We can do everything. Whatever I was doing last year in January, this year I'm doing something else. Somebody is selling fresh vegetables, kuma wiki, and in June maybe masks come in and the corona whatever, and then they shift to corona. It's creative, it's survival, but by the end of the day, you do not build an orchestral brand. There is not much that you are known for, and I'm glad to hear that she is now identified her forte, her strengths, and so pursuing that. And I think that's a good point to pick. That one thing that most of us need to always start by is get to identify what are your unique capabilities, your unique talents, your unique gifts that God gave you, each and every one of us. And this is why we start by saying each one of us needs to be authentic. All of us have something unique in us. There is something that only you will be able to do much better than the majority of the people. And that's the same reason when we were starting this book at some point, we were talking about personal mission. This your brand should be part of your personal mission. You see, like what is it that you're doing to make the world a better place? We were all created or born to be of service to the world. And it is said, if we help enough people get what they want, we will get everything we want. How is it that we are going to help people get what they want if we do not give our best? For example, I know Patrick has been my CPA. He does accounting, filing of returns and things like that, and he's done it for me a number of years. If he continuously does that and delivers as promised, and that should be his area of uh, of strength, because if it is not your area of strength, you are not going to have that capacity to be able to learn. You do not have the enthusiasm required. You do not have the passion. And let me tell you, without passion, you cannot be creative enough. And if you are not creative enough, you cannot build a strong orchestra. Because there is something called ingenuity, yes? If you do not have that ingenuity, if you do not have that creativity, then things will remain the same or become worse. And that is why we need to always be careful what type of orchestra we want to build. If we are building a particular organization simply because I heard it has money, then it may not work. Yeah, the other day I was visiting a friend who does chicken. I realized I really don't know a lot about chicken, but I've heard people tell me about how agribusiness is the next big thing, and the next billionaires are going to come from agribusiness, and everyone needs to go there somewhat. And I wonder, can everyone do the same thing? No, we are all gifted differently. We have different interests. From the beginning, I knew I'm not meant to participate at the production level of agriculture, because uh, I realized that I do not have that passion. I do not have that strength, but there are people with that passion. So we've got to know, what is it that we stand for? What are our values? And what is this unique thing that I feel inspired to contribute to the world? Mine, I love equipping and inspiring people to live their dreams. And I do that. And when you identify this, you'll realize that you will do it whether you are being paid or not being paid. And whenever you get an opportunity to do it, even if somebody is paying you, you will do and give much more than you paid for. Why? There is no success without the extra mile. People who end up doing just enough to be paid do not become successful. You must be somebody who does much more than you are being paid for. And they say the extra mile never has any traffic. You will always be somewhat alone. A few times I give a talk on how to succeed in Kenya. And I say it's very simple. In Kenya, you just need to be a little earlier than the rest. You need to stay a little later. You need to try a little harder than the rest. You need to be a little more creative. The rest will be easy. Most of the people, they just want to do enough. They just want to be there. And that's why people can stay the same. You are selling a particular product which everyone else is selling. Why should I come to you? Are you uniquely gifted in delivering it? Are you more passionate about it? What is it that is going to drive me towards you and not the other person? And like you were giving an example of your, whatever, the guy who does your eyebrows, there are very many of them. I think they are in hundreds of thousands, but there is something that takes you to that particular person. It is the same thing. If he picked that which he loves doing, he will put his heart and soul into it. He will be the best. And so that is the person we need to build our brands to be. We build our name, we build our character, we build our competence, we build our leadership, and we continuously insist and practice consistently that which we feel we were made to do with our passion. We become the best. We become people known for that particular thing.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Chairman. That was so insightful. Wow. That was so great. So guys, we've come to the end of our meeting. I just want to remind all of us that we start every Monday at 7:30 a.m., but you can log in from 7 a.m. for networking. And I mean, it's equipping ourselves. It's about growth. It is about growth. Everything is about growth. And so my parting shot this week is one. It takes years to build a strong brand, but just a few seconds to crash it utterly. Imagine it's not worth it. Let's be consistent with whatever we are supposed to do. Let us build whatever we are doing on trust, on a firm foundation, and we can't do everything. Paul in the Bible says that this one thing I do continually, that one thing, his purpose. What is your purpose? And when you get your purpose, do it continually, build yourself on trust, build a strong brand. I mean, we do not have an excuse. We have Otieno Paul Peter here, guys. We don't have an excuse. And this guy, he's so rich in wisdom and knowledge. So thank you guys for joining us. I don't want to keep you any longer. So remember, every Monday at 7:30, but you can join in at 7 a.m. and the link is the same. Asanteni sana.